So here we are back at the table again.
Yes, sir. Feels like it's been a minute.
It's been a while because it's cold. You have a coat on.
It is cold. All the leaves are falling off the
And you
trees.
see in the background, yeah. So I think first we want to say thanks to everybody who actually subscribes and does all that stuff, because that helps us do what we're doing here.
Yeah.
Right. So we want to say thanks a lot to those people. And we were getting a lot of questions that we also want to let you know that we do read the comments and the questions.
Mm-hmm.
We don't respond to them because really don't have time. we got a lot going on, so we really don't have time. So we apologize for that, and he'll try to do better.
Thanks, Dad.
But what we decided to do was to go ahead and, I think you guys put it out there to...
Yeah, we got some questions and answers today. So we got a bunch of questions here from the audience, and
Do we have any answers from the audience?
not yet. No.
Well, this is a
actually,
question and answer. Maybe I thought we'd get some answers too.
the answers come from us.
Oh!
Yeah,
Okay.
we give them the answers.
Okay. Yes, no, maybe.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, that's it. Thanks for watching,
Yeah,
guys.
appreciate it.
Justin Plays says, you're currently surviving well off-grid, ... If you get to the point of being super productive and able to thrive, would you expand stuff further? A bigger farm, house expansions, or an additional house nearby?
Okay, well, we're not off grid yet,
Not yet.
but we're working on it.
We're working on it. We're getting close.
We have a story from this morning about that, but we won't have time to talk about that right now. What was the question? What did it say, when we get organized or something?
Basically, once we get all of our ducks in a row here, do we have
Right.
plans to expand further? You know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Anything else? Yeah, so the whole idea was, I have these ideas, these visions kind of things that come and I look at them and I go, that's berserk. But one of the ideas was we need to create a place for you and a place for us. We
Yeah.
like living together. You do, because you get fed and all that stuff, but can't go on forever.
Yeah.
So someday you're going to have a girlfriend or something, and she's going to do that. The idea is that originally we were to buy a big enough piece of land where we could have two places.
Yeah.
So the whole idea about all the tools that we've purchased, thanks to people, and the sawmill especially, was to build another house. Mm-hmm. So if I live long enough and stay healthy long enough, or teach you enough to do it, we intend on building a road back up into the North 40.
Yep.
And seeing about building a completely off-grid house there.
That'd be awesome. That's super exciting.
Yeah, it is. But that's a year or two down the road probably. We may start the road this winter though.
Yeah, I'm really, because now we have our dump truck.
We have a dump truck, and we're looking for a track loader, a small loader, to be able to build a road. And we want to do it in the winter because that's where you can see, without the leaves, you can see the gradient. You can see a path better. So we want to start on that this winter. Next question.
Patter says, what gear are you using for these videos? Was there anything you thought you need as you moved off grid that you haven't used?
Oh, you mean what's the tools we bought?
Yeah.
You think that's the question?
Yeah, like the tractors and some
We
of the...
bought a tractor.
Yep.
We sold the tractor.
We sold the tractor.
We bought a skid steer.
Yep.
We sold the skid steer.
Yep.
Why? You know why we sold it? It was a good skid steer. It was a Caterpillar.
Because the door wouldn't open.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because the door opens like normal doors do, and if the bucket is up or at all, it won't open. So we're looking for a skid steer where the door opens overhead.
Yeah.
Which is a Takeuchi or a Kubota. So.
We got a excavator.
We bought an older 2012 excavator with a lot of hours on it, which we've spent a lot of time fixing. But we learned how it works. And a good thing about an older piece of machinery, there's good and there's bad about everything. A good thing about an older piece of machinery is, because you have to do maintenance on it and work on things because they wear out, you learn the machine.
Yeah.
With a newer machine, they're all electronic stuff, and you can't fix that stuff.
Yeah.
You got to get a part, and parts are getting harder. I don't know if people know that, but parts are getting harder and harder to come by. So the idea with an older machine is that when we fix these things, I think we can fix them ourselves if all goes really badly.
Yeah.
Which we hope it won't, but it might.
And in terms of gear, I mean, you've been collecting tools and using tools for
55 years.
55 years. Oh, and get a shot of like the work of his tool shed of all the things and all the cool gizmos. It's all very neatly organized of all the time.
Now you got to be organized in work or you get hurt.
Yeah.
And they take time finding stuff. So we have an excavator. We've got an older, smaller dump truck. We've got all of the like hand tools. So we got chain sharpeners for the chainsaws, for cutting up wood, for firewood and stuff. We got the sawmill.
Mm-hmm.
We got welders, air compressors, things like just normal hand tools, things so that we can try to fix whatever we need to fix by ourselves if we have to.
Yeah, that's important.
Yeah. Hope he wasn't asking about video gear because we didn't answer that.
Yeah.
So if you want to know that, answer it again. Ask again. Oh, we're going to be attacked by a cat in a minute. How many dinosaurs? Well, about 27 normally on an average. The Tyrannosaurus Rex we run from, so we don't see. Usually if one comes out of the woods or maybe more behind them, but we don't see him because we're running the other way.
So, Tank Mike says, why did you want to do this?
I think we've answered that already, right?
Yeah.
Why did you want to do this?
That's a good question. I think there's a lot of reasons why I wanted to do it. I think it all really boils down to sense of purpose, sense of doing something that kind of grows with me. When I was living more in the city and I was focusing only on YouTube, I felt like my life didn't really have much of a purpose. Like it was just kind of the same thing every day. I wasn't really growing as a person. I wasn't really learning anything. And so being able to come out here and do these things, and obviously I don't work as much as I would like to, but
Or me.
but now I have more of a sense of purpose. I'm growing, I'm learning, and also it's just so much better out in nature. It's quieter, it's less busy, less people, and I just feel more at ease. I feel less anxious out here. Less stress, less anxiety, less negative emotions, and more positive emotions.
Very much so. By being out. Yeah, absolutely. All of those things. Plus for me, it was also, maybe this may be egotistical in a way, but maybe trying to put into practice all of the things I've learned over the last, building boats and building RVs and building houses and all of those things. Putting all that into practice in one place and seeing what can come of it.
Yeah,
So.
and I mean, look at what you've accomplished, what we've all accomplished here.
We've done a lot.
It's done a lot. It's only been 7 or 8 months.
Right.
And so very excited for the future of that.
Yep. No. Rude. You are so rude. You are so rude. Down. Thank you. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm going to get him something to chew on so he doesn't. Shelly, you have any of your shoes over here we can get him?
I think we'll just do like...
So we're going to give Mo a treat. You want one?
I'm good. I'm trying to quit.
You sure?
Yeah.
All right. Here, Mo. That'll shut him up for about 2 minutes. What's some questions we've seen, or what's some questions?
Or here's a good question.
Okay.
How much does it cost to go off grid?
Wow. I can't answer that.
Yeah.
Because it completely depends on you.
Yeah.
I mean, you can actually go off grid. Homeless are off grid,
Yeah.
right? You can take a newspapers and go sleep in the street somewhere. Use public toilets or any street like in San Francisco.
Yeah. Well, I think what we kind of determine is what is the definition of off grid.
Exactly.
Right. What does it mean to be off grid?
Right. How comfortable do you want to be?
Yeah.
That's the big thing. But what's off grid? You need your basic supplies. There's called a Maslow's hierarchy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what that is?
Yeah. Maslow's hierarchy.
Maslow's hierarchy. Do you know what that is?
Yes and no. I wouldn't be able to explain it, but
it's a scientist named Maslow came up with a pyramid of needs, people's needs. So
yeah, so it's the bottom: psychological needs, safety needs, love and belonging, esteem, and self-actualization.
Okay, so physiological. That's physiological, right? So food, water, those kinds of things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then you go, okay, well, what's important? What's most important? Well, you got to have all those basic things. You got to have water. You got to have food. You got to have shelter. You got to have that. You got to be safe. Those kinds of things. So then you go, okay, how much of those things do we want? Are we? For instance, let's take food. Are we going to eat if the grocery stores don't have any food and we're off grid, are we going to save up beans and eat just beans?
I don't want to eat just beans.
I don't want to be around you if you eat just beans. So, so what happens is you have to figure out, okay, well, so we have lots of stuff stored.
Yeah.
From rice to powdered milk to try to have as normal of a life as possible. One of the reasons we came out here is because we knew there was a ton of game out here. We don't hunt right now. We're gonna try to learn. Want to go on a hunting trip with us? Then, there's turkey and deer and squirrel. When I was growing up, people ate squirrel all the time. So I'm pretty old. Squirrel and rice, not bad. Squirrel and dumplings. So, you got to figure all that stuff out, right? Where are you going to get your water off grid? Do you have a lake? Do you have a spring? Do you have a well? That means you have to have power to power the pump. Those kinds of things, right?
Yeah.
So we decided to go pretty big, mostly as a test, to see if we could do it. We still haven't done it. We're still working on it, as evidenced by this thing we had happen this morning, where our inverter is not performing all of a sudden the way it's supposed to be from our batteries. So the whole system we built, the solar panels are still working, but the rest of it, the battery system, is not working. The power went off, we have no power. I go, well. So even when you think you're off grid,
Yeah.
I can't fix that stuff.
Right.
So, yeah. So did that answer the question? I started pontificating again.
Yeah, I don't know, something about the cost of living off grid. So it's entirely up to you.
If the cost is up to you, yeah. But the other thing is, when you say cost, you go, is it the initial cost, the total cost over time? What is it, right? So I would say anytime you ask how much something is, you can't afford it.
Yeah.
Unless you have the strength and the courage to go into something, and money being the last thing on your worry list.
Yeah.
There's a thing about it is that God takes giant steps and man takes man steps. But God always comes to meet you if your heart is pure.
Yeah.
So if you take steps towards what you feel is right, what your intuition, your God is telling you to do, God's going to take giant steps towards you.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. I can't even say how amazing I feel about the things that happen when I take steps towards things that my intuition is telling me, which to me is God's voice, is telling me to do.
Yeah.
I may not have a clue how to do it. I may not have that's a lot of times.
Yeah.
I don't have a clue how to do things. And I just go, well, it's on YouTube, or, somebody's done it. If somebody's done it, I got the same brain God gave everybody else. Maybe I'm not using it, but I got it. So if I start, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, so what I'm saying is, get started on something, and the money will come if it's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. Absolutely. Beautiful.
Right?
Everyone, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, please subscribe. We upload videos every Friday and Sunday, plus shorts all the time. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.
Yesterday, there was sun and there was rain. Beauty in the mundane. And as the light startled our eyes, we let go of disguise. And now there's something in the air, and a sparkly shimmer on our skin, restoring everything within. Oh, dreamy, breezy, we go. Easy, easy on our tiptoes, undercover agents of the other. Beyond gravel, vessels out of sand, reaching for